My mother's womb.
Really?
Yeah, I'm Italian. It's in my blood. That's how it started. And then as I progressed to get older, you know, when I was a kid, my grandmother would come up on the weekends and we make sauce, not fucking gravy. People call it gravy. Gravy is brown. It's not red. So I started with my grandmother making the meatballs, making the sauce and stuff like that. And then as I got older, my mother couldn't boil water, so I taught her how to make pasta. And then my brother-in-law, my sister's husband, really took me under his wing and allowed me to work in his restaurant. He had a pizzeria where I grew up in Carmel, New York. So they're right off the boat, Italian, New York, which that means is they don't show you anything, they don't tell you anything. You start at the bottom and you stay at the bottom. Yeah. When I made sauce, I had the wrapping on the can came off, so I didn't know what kind of sauce, what tomatoes it was, and so forth. And excuse me, I did that. I started as a delivery guy, then I was a busboy, then I worked the front counter, then I worked the pizza line. It took me about 4 years before I was actually allowed to touch the dough. Literally 4 years. The witness protection program. Can you pour him some more wine, by the way? Thanks. In 2005, I met a gentleman by the name of Joe Moore. Owns Tutor's Wood-Fired Grill in Hampton Cove. Well, I was doing some pizza consulting and he had reached out to me about coming. And after 3 years, not 2, not 1, 3, he finally got his place open, and I came down here for 10 days. He hired me, and he had said to me, hey, since you know, I'm paying you for all this, would you mind staying in my sister's house rather than a hotel, save me some money? So long story short, I said absolutely. And the time I left, I felt homesick. Focus. I felt homesick. So he was flying me back from Italy to Alabama, to Vegas to Alabama. And then I went back to New York and I had a place in Famous Joe's, and I had just gotten rid of it, and my ex-girlfriend had all my stuff in a garbage bag because I haven't called her in 2 weeks. True story. Brazilian, local, don't ever go out with Brazilian. And the owner of Tutor's was like, his brother-in-law was like, why don't you come down and consult in the South, because no one knows how to walk and chew gum and make pizza all at once. So I was like, you know, I'll come down. So I said, fuck it. I packed my bags. I went to my sister's on the night of my nephew's communion. And I said, I'm moving to Alabama. They said, when? I said, tomorrow morning. They said, okay, we'll see you next week. Okay. Got my car, drove down, put anything I had left in my car, true story, and moved down here. In 2006, we were in Mall of America. Tyler Chapman, Tony Gemignani, and Michael Shepard, the founders of myself, founders of the World Pizza Champions. Tony orchestrated with the Food Network. So I was like, I was like the Chicago Cubs. Always get there, but never could beat any of them. Not Tyler, really Tony. So there was 4 competitions. There was largest pizza stress, highest pizza toss. One was the cooking, and then across your shoulders, which is an acrobatic move. Well, put it this way. I blew their mother's ass out of the water on the highest pizza toss. Nobody saw it coming. I didn't even see it coming. I was practicing. So I won that. And then Tony won one, and then Tony won another one. We were, I think, tied going into the last one. And I literally, to this day, would die for a rematch. I lost by a quarter of an inch. A quarter of an inch on the larger stretch. And Tony won 10 grand. And if I could ever find the film, you would see I wouldn't shake his hand. Love him to death, my mentor, but that's how I got that one. Then the second one, I actually, this is a true story. I was sitting in my kitchen. It was a Monday night, That Saturday, I literally got on my knees and prayed. I was like, God, just give me one more shot on TV. I don't care what it is. Just give me a shot. Anything, or what pizza related. Because I love the camera, as you can see. So the fucking phone rang. On a Monday night, me and Valentina were making dinner. It was just me and her. And it was this producer that had saw me on the show and would said, we're thinking about doing a competition, a Guinness record, you against Tony Gemignani. So I dogged him right away, just because I know that's what they want to hear. I said, okay, blah, blah. So then I called him, let him know. He said, yeah, they just called me. He said, but I don't think I could, I don't want to do your record. I don't think I could do it or whatever. So they said, can you do fastest? I said, I could do anything the fuck you want, even though I haven't practiced fastest. So long story short, they said, okay, we're gonna do longest stretch in a minute. Can you break this record that this guy from Italy? I said, can a bird fly and a bear shit in the woods? I said, just get me to LA and I will break the record. And long story short, I got there. When I got there, I met Gordon Ramsay and they said, can you do some tricks? I said, you want me to break the fucking record or do you want me to do tricks? Which one is it? Because I'm not gonna chance throwing the dough in the air and it rip and I look like an idiot. Because it was the first time in my life I ever did live TV. So I said, no, I can't. And then Gordon came over to me and said, I'll never forget, he said, are you nervous? I said, no, not at all. He said, good, because 4 million people will be watching you all over the world in about 30 seconds. I was like, oh, great. That's exactly what he said to me. Then I went on, broke the record, and then I went to the hotel room by myself and celebrated.
Wow. How'd you celebrate?
I did 2 shots and passed out. I was super tired. I was up at 4 a.m. I think the mom and pop restaurants in Huntsville are some of the best. And I think everybody in Huntsville, we all need to support each other. Whether it's pizza, Cuban, Chinese, Mexican, mom and pops and local, they're all great. Everybody has their different taste buds for customers. No one's better than the other. Some just have a different style. I don't think my pizza is better than anybody else. I think I have just a different style. I would never knock anybody's pizza. And I think that's just, how can I sit here and knock Domino's when they have 500 stores? How could you knock Domino's? Tell me right now how you could tell me Domino's sucks and they have 500 stores, or pizza, or Papa John's. I can't. I have one. But I think we should support all local restaurants together. I think we're in this together. You know, back in the 80s, at least in New York, 90s bumblefuck, you know, you couldn't go a mile down the road and say, hey, can I borrow a case of cheese? They tell you, go fuck your mother. Do you know how many cases of cheese I borrowed from Earth and Stone? Do you? Like, I borrowed one today. No problem, Joe, come and get it. Like, it's a different world, different era, you know? It's not about who is better. It's just different style. I'm a pizza nerd, so I take mine is a little more unique. It's a little more, what's the word? Detailed into making the process to making the dough. Some might say it's better. Not everybody. And it's not for everybody. But it's for me. It's for you. It's for everybody watching. Is my daughter. And I wanted to make a transition. I asked my girlfriend, Jess, who probably is the main reason that Valentina's is open. You can quote me on that, not double quote. She's got more backbone than I could ever want to have, and said, just fucking do it and shut your mouth. And the reason I went with Valentina's instead of Famous Joe's is because I wanted to start a new tradition. I wanted something for my daughter. This is something for my daughter to leave her. That doesn't mean she's gonna go into this craft, but it's something that she can learn the craft, learn the art, and maybe, who knows, maybe we'll have 2, 3, 4, 5 Valentinas. It's something that people can relate to. When you come in, you're not coming into a pizzeria. You're coming into my home, our home, and it's a connection right when you get here, because if you don't have kids, then you might as well not step foot in this place. Because we were all about kids and family. You see the kids making the pizza, you see Valentina tossing it, you see Valentina teaching the kids. I wanted to leave something for her that she can grow with her family and her kids one day.